Hi to all you beautiful souls out there. Thanks for stopping by and spend some time here on my channel, Spiritual Dowsey. I'm Dowsey LeMay. I really appreciate all my supporters, all my subscribers, and people who've been watching my videos and following me on my Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for your support and love as I continue here on my spiritual journey. So today I want to talk about trusting in the plan or surrendering. To me, this is super foreign, super hard for me to do. And I want to just kind of talk about my experience with this and maybe give you two insights into it and to help you potentially surrender to your own uncertainty and life plan that's unfolding before you as you spiritually grow from one state of being to another state of being. Before I do this, I always like to say that these are my truths and my experiences that have guided me down my own spiritual path. So take what resonates with you and leave the rest, but keep an open mind. Just because it doesn't resonate with you doesn't mean it's not a truth, but maybe down the road when you have a different perspective, this video may be helpful for you then. So, I have been going through a little bit of an influx or transition within my own life, with my own spiritual journey. And in those transitions, in that void between one place to another place, is a very uncomfortable feeling. Because what you are sensing is the old stuff that you've been familiar with is starting to not resonate with you as much. And you're trying to shift to another state of being, which is going to be more resonant to the desires and the things that you are hoping or trying to get to in your own personal life. It's in the void, that void between two states, in that transition, in the chaos of which the old is falling and the new is coming up. I feel very tense. I have a difficult time with this sometimes. And the truth is, it's very hard for me. I am a sun rising Cancer from an astrological sign, and as a Cancer, I am very emotional. I am very homebody, and when those things in my life feels like it's being disrupted, when it feels like it's going into an influx, I may not be the most pleasant person to be around. I get emotional about it. I get angry. I get tense, and I'm constantly wanting to know, what is it gonna look like? Why is this happening? How do I control this? How do I make this so that this transition feels as easy as possible for me? I want to know if I'm gonna have the abundance, what I'm gonna be doing, how is this gonna look, etc. Right? Anyone who's like me, you're probably doing the exact same thing. So the other night I'm in meditation, and after my meditation I decided that I wanted to pull some cards. Right? I use the Alana Fairchild's Lightworker's Oracle deck once in a while, and in its synchronistic way I pull out this card. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. I pull out this card, and this card is the Trust in the Plan card. Okay, you see this beautiful old man that's probably going to look like me in about 50 years, right? And this cosmic kind of theme that's on the top, and this open heart and the light coming from him, and then this beautiful ocean and water and etc. Now this card spoke to me and was like complete confirmation for what I was going through. It's exactly what I needed to hear given the things that are occurring in my life. Trust in the plan. That's super hard for me. Trusting in the plan is like surrender, right? Surrendering, trusting in the plan. How does one even know how to surrender? How does one even trust in the plan when you have been so, in my case, I have been so tightly gripped on my reality that I don't like to experience the things that I'm trying to avoid, right? I don't want to feel rejection. I don't want to feel hurt. I don't want to feel unsafe, etc. So how does one trust in the plan? How does one surrender when it's such a foreign concept to you? And maybe my 2 cents here might be able to help you in your own surrendering, in your own way of trusting in the plan. Because when I talk about this, understand that I am not 100% master on this. I am going through this process myself, and I just maybe wanted to help you out as well as I'm going through my own. So when I pulled this card out, the Trust in the Plan card out of the Lightworker's Oracle deck, the paragraph I read from here, and I want to read it to you verbatim, is trust in the plan. In preparation for radical growth, there can be temporary disorder and chaos. Whilst the mind may worry that something is going wrong, the spirit knows that this is the way for the old to disassemble so that the new can be formed. Although you may feel out of control during such times, you do not need to resist the process. There is no need to attempt to impose your own sense of order upon the greater plan. There is you don't need to seek solutions. There's no problems here in need of solving. What has been is being cleared away in preparation for the next chapter of your life. Have faith, all is well. When I read that, the word that came to my mind is love. Love, right? That's about love. Loving of what you've had and letting it go, and loving the next journey of your life as you allow things to come into you, and to love that as you transition from one. You're letting the old stuff that you've loved fall away. As the new stuff, you allow love and abundance and allowance for that to come forward and to be in your heart and to be in the moment so that you can have an easier transition. And the trust, right? Trust is about love, right? Trust. So, I think surrendering and also trusting in the plan is very foreign to me. And I'll tell you why. When I think about trust and I think about surrender and trusting in the plan, I often wonder, why can't I trust in the plan? Why can't I surrender to the higher aspect of myself that knows more and more about me and what I have chosen to do in this life? Why can't I trust that? And I think a lot of that has to do with my own self. This has always been an inward journey. And the more inward you go, the more trust and love you find for yourself. But what I found is that part of the reason why I can't trust and why I can't surrender is because if you're anything like me, if you had a childhood, a very early childhood that was fraught with experiences of you trying to be who you are, yet as you were expressing yourself as who you were vehemently rejected for that. And so you learn not to trust yourself. You learn not to trust the things that you are and to trust what you got from the outside as your source of love and feedback for validation. And so it's impossible in some ways to trust in the great plan, in the great scheme of things, if you yourself don't trust who you are as a person. Because being you led to rejection, led to feeling unworthy, led to feeling unloved. So it requires for anybody on this path who's looking to surrender and to trust in the plan to go inward as part of this process, because at some level, at some place, there is experiences where you have placed untrust. You've placed this distrust within yourself, that being who you are is going to lead you to something else, and therefore having control in your environment and getting your validation from outside of you has been that illusion. Okay, and so let's go forward a little bit. When you do that work, see my other videos about how you need to go inward and how you need to look at your patterns and everything. But when it comes to surrender, there are a number of things that I want to bring to your attention. Number one, your higher self, an aspect of you, or you being an aspect of your higher self, would not have you incarnated into this planet, into this moment at this current time period, at this current now moment, if it didn't think that you could do it. So understand one, that you as a higher being incarnated into this planet at this moment, in this now moment of great turmoil and change, because it knew you had to learn a lesson, but also knew that you could do it. It wouldn't have been for your highest good and for your learning if they were to put you in a place, in an incarnated body, physical body, if they didn't think that you could do it. It just doesn't make any sense. So number one, understand that you and your higher self chose to come in here, and they believed that you could do it, and they knew you could do it. All right. The second thing is that you chose it. Here you are as a physical vessel. As much as it seems completely impossible to you to think that you chose this life, in some way or another, you knew about what you were doing and you signed up for it. So here you are, your soul, your higher self, everyone knew you could do it, and you chose to come down here to experience what's going on in your life and to experience the change and to have these great opportunities to grow spiritually through these changes. So those are two big points I want to point out. You knew you could do it, and you chose to come into this life, all right? The second aspect to this is that when you get the sense of being the creator, you finally understand that you are the only one responsible for your life. You're the one via your frequency, via your thoughts, via your beliefs, etc., your intention that you're putting out into your hologram. You are creating your reality. And through that reality, everything that you are witnessing is but a reflection of that love from the universe, emphasizing and confirming the beliefs that you have within you. It is a hologram of your internal self, and that is being represented by the love of the universe, which is basically you, because you and the universe are the same. You get a sense of, I am the one accountable for doing and creating all the experiences in my world. And through that perspective, you also get an understanding that those who are with you, those that you witness in your co-created moments, those that you see within your world, are all doing the exact same thing, but are just another aspect of you, of source being, manifesting their realities to create an experience for you to know more about yourself and to find more love for who you are. In that perspective, there's no need to be right. There's no need to be wrong. You can have a trusting and understanding that what you witness is but the divine plan of which is magnetized to you via your frequency. You are creating your reality, and through that creation, through that power and through that will that is source flowing through in and out of your body, in and out of your reality, is divine and perfect. It is love for what you are. This is where you can start to find oneness, and this is where you can start to find love for all things. And in that space, when you see yourself connected to all things, you see your power, you see your love, and you see the universe for reflecting that love via all the experiences it's bringing to you, and that all that you are is involved in everything else. You can say that I can finally let go of things. I can let go of these limitations that have kept me in fear. Kept me in fear of what? Fear that I'm going to be rejected, fear that I'm going to be hurt, fear that I'm going to be disliked, unloved, betrayed, etc. Because all that was a projection on the idea that you were separate. You were separate from everything else, but you are so actually tied to everything. You are so incorporated into everything that you're seeing because you are it. You are creating it through your frequency. And it's just the universe and you, which are the same thing, creating this hologram, creating this reality of which you are tied to. You get a sense of a deep breath of saying, an exhale of saying, I can let go of some things because it was never about anybody else. It's always been about me. And I can now be that source of love, that source of validation, that source of self-worth that I have been seeking outside of me, which has always been within you. And through that process of knowing that, and through the process of knowing that your higher self knew that you could do it, and that you also chose to do this, you can get this sense of release, this sense of knowing that where you are in your frequency, and knowing that everything that you have going on for your life right now will be taken care of via your higher self, the great plan that Spirit knew that you could do, that you can feel more peace and in the moment. Because when you're not in the moment, when you're fearing all the things that could go wrong and you're trying to control all these aspects of your life, you're never in the moment. You're worried about the future. You're worried about the things that have happened in the past that may cause you to have more pain in the future. You're not in the moment. And when you can be in the moment, knowing that you are the creator, you are unified and one with all things that you see, because it's you and your frequency being manifested in the reality, and that you and your higher self chose this life and they knew that you could do it and they knew you had the strength, you can kind of start to understand what it means to start to surrender, what it means to start to trust in the plan, because it is through you, through the being of that I am taken care of, that I am okay, that I am in the moment, surrounded by love, surrounded by all that there is, and that all my desires, all my highest potentials of experiences that are for my highest good exist in this moment, and I can be in a state of wonderment and peace and surrender and trust that you get to see an easier way to transition from what was old to what is new. You get to cross this bridge from feeling what your old life may felt like and transitioning across this bridge in an easier way to this new way of being that you want to be. And surrender and trust and being in the creative power, to me, is one of the only ways to be able to transition that in the easiest way that it can be. Now, that doesn't mean that there is a wrong or right way of doing it. There isn't. But it would be a lot easier if you didn't resist it so much, right? If you didn't sit there and fear all the things that are coming up and seeing your life crumble from the old energies as you are resisting your new life that you want. I mean, if you think about this energetically, is if you are desiring a new state of being, and you want to be to a place where you're more centered and balanced and love and whatever, and what requires for you is to let go of the old stuff. And when you don't let go of the old stuff, you're resisting the new you. You're resisting the ability for the things that you desire to come up quicker. And that causes the process to be dragged out longer, and it causes more pain and more hurt via your attachments because of the fear of the unknown and the fear that you are going to be hurt or rejected or unloved, or you're not going to be safe. So to me, this has been one of the hardest struggles for me as I'm going through this transitional phase in my life, my personal life, things with work, etc. And it is incumbent on me to know within myself, as I go inward, to heal the untrusting pieces of me and to sit in that vibration of love, and to know that I am the creator surrounded by the love of the universe, and to know that my higher self and that I also chose to be here gives me a great amount of strength, gives me a great amount of patience, and hopefully that will do that the same for you if you're going through this process, so that you can have a little bit easier time going through that. So hopefully that rambling made sense to you. If it did, I hope it was beneficial. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram or my Facebook, or subscribe here on my YouTube and leave a message. And I love you. Hope that you know that everyone else in the world is going through this transition. It's not just me. Everyone is going through that. And you'll have a lot more joyful and peaceful time being in surrender and trusting in the plan instead of just trusting it, trying to have control and fearing everything. So best of luck to you. I love you, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.